Welcome to this latest screencast about Iron7. In this I'm going to be talking about the great new feature in 1.3, which has got me very much excited. And this feature is that we have added an online website to enable you to share and edit your scripts. So the website is called script.iron7.com. I'll be linking to it from the blog very soon. 1.3 itself is in the App Store for approval and should be available for download in the next couple of days. So if you go to script.iron7.com, you can register. You have to activate your email address just to make sure that no one else is using your details. Once you're there, then you can look through and you can see your own scripts, which obviously by default will be empty. You can see the standard Iron7 scripts, which gives you a list of all of the standard samples. For example, there is a squares tutorial now, and you can click through and you can see these squares. And because it's a browser, you can select, you can cut, copy, paste, you can zoom in and out, generally it's much more usable. You can open up other tabs where you can look up Ruby syntax, where you can look up sample scripts. You can do all sorts of things because you have a full desktop environment and you're not limited to that smaller screen of the phone. Now, as well as looking up those things, you can look up everybody's scripts. Every script you upload is Creative Commons by default. So if you don't want to use Creative Commons, then please don't upload any scripts. Let's take a look and go home, and let's create an example script. So we're going to create a basic button and timer app, and we will call this button and timer app not Christmas, but Countdown to Next Year. And it's going to still use a timer, so we'll call it Iron7 timer. You can see there's some default functionality included for you, and we will save it. When you've saved it, you can go to Iron7 on your phone, and you will see in Iron7 on the phone there's a new section where it allows you to put in your password and your account name for script.iron7.com. So obviously I'm not going to tell you what my password is, but there's my username, Stuart, and I will hopefully be uploading some more scripts there soon. Once you've done that, then you can obviously just use the scripts which are locally installed, or you can browse all the scripts online, which gives you the same tag display you already saw on the browser. Or you can see the standard scripts, so the Iron7 scripts online, or you can see just the scripts that you've created. So you saw me create Countdown to Next Year. I can now download that script to the phone, and I can run it. So obviously it's not a countdown to next year yet. It's just got some basic functionality there to do a timer and a reset. So let's go about editing that code. So here is the code in question. Let me just zoom a little bit so you can still see it, hopefully. We want to remove that button and that timer. So we remove the button, and there's the button again. And we don't need a button listener, so we'll get rid of that. And we no longer need a timer count. And when we update the text, let's just update it with the word countdown. So there is the basic app changed. We can save it on the phone. We can go back and we can refresh from iron7.com. And when we run it, hopefully we see the word countdown. So the code has been downloaded again. So that's obviously not a countdown still, so let's change the functionality so it is. So we will use the Ruby classes for time. You could use the .NET ones if you'd rather. So we do current time equals time.now. Next year is going to be time.local, and we want current time.year plus 1, and then we want the 1st of January at midnight. We need to know the difference between those two things, so we do difference equals next year minus current time, and then we can change the text down here to give you that difference, difference.2s. So now if we save that, then on the phone we can again download from iron7.com. it's updated the script. So down here we should be able to see we have this current time code next year difference, and when we run it we get a countdown. That's a rather long number at the end there. So let's change that to be number of days rather than number of seconds. So we want to come back. We could edit it again on the browser, but let's, for this demo, just edit it on the phone. I am cheating a little bit by using the PC keyboard on the emulator, but you could use the on-screen keyboard if you prefer. So let's take difference equals difference divided by 365. No, we want number of hours, number of days, so we want to, number of seconds in a day is 24 times 60 times 60. I missed the thing. So there, that should now give us, working on the phone, a countdown in terms of number of days. We obviously would now like to get that back onto the server and onto the browser, so we can upload that same script back to Iron7.com. And now if we just round trip the display here, then we should see in this display that we now have that same functionality, 24 times 60 times 60 on the browser. So that gives you a full round trip. There's no source control or SVN or anything in terms of versioning, so you have to be careful you don't overwrite the wrong thing. But you can now edit on the phone, edit on a browser, and share that code very easily. So I'm pretty excited by this because it really makes it a lot easier to share your code, particularly while we're still waiting for cut and paste on the Windows Phone 7. It really is a very useful functionality. I hope you like it. It does mean that you can now very easily take all the samples, like there's a new sample which is a Tetris game. I'll just show you that quickly. So you can take Tetris running on the phone, and you can edit it and change it in any way you'd particularly like to. So if you are running Tetris and you don't like where I've put the buttons, or you don't like the colors, or you want some extra cheat functionality, then you can do that because you can edit that code yourselves and create new branches off of it with whichever functionality you would really like to have. So thanks very much for listening to this video cast. I hope that you find the new functionality very useful. If you've got any feedback, just leave comments on the blog. Thank you very much.